session with Harvey Carroll Jr., our today's presenter. Harvey is a former military man, a businessman, a politician, an author of nine books, so successful author. All of them are published. Now Harvey, he's lived in Ukraine for almost 12 years.
On and off 15 back and forth, but the last few years after bad health, I've been.
So he's very well aware about peculiarities of making business in Ukraine, about our economy, about our politicians. And that's why he will give us a perspective on politics, on economics, from the point of view of an expert. If you have any questions, you can ask them during the lecture presentation or in the end. How would you like?
We'll just sort of wing it, you know, if it's important, just jump in, we'll participate, no problem. How much time do I have? That way I'll know how fast I can
Actually,
talk.
officially 1 hour and a half. So officially it's 10 till 4 p.m.
Okay. All right, I don't think I can get it all in by then, so I'll cover it fast. Okay, I'll be like the speed guy.
Okay. If you don't understand something, can you ask? Can we ask?
Okay, all of you guys are economists, right, or plan on being economists? Yep?
Right.
Okay, can someone tell me what an economist is? Anyone? Anyone tell me what an economist is? Okay, second, can you tell me the difference between an economist and a business person? No?
Very similar.
Very similar, he thinks. Good. All right, thirdly, what do y'all plan to do with your economics degree? Anyone? Try to find a job doing what? Hard to tell now. Okay, I think every one of you would say that. All of you want to get an economics degree because you think you should get an economics degree because in the Soviet times everybody was economists, right? But you have no clue how that's going to work for you or how useful it's going to be. And I know this. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to take your basic theoretical knowledge that you know of economics and show you real-world economics that would work in Ukraine and put you in the frame of more of a professional public administrator / economist. Okay? And that will be difficult, but you can see the practical possibilities that there's really money there. Okay? Now, my background, I dealt with multi-million-dollar projects for many, many years. Okay? And on political stuff, I dealt with billions and trillions of dollars worth of stuff. Not to say I made a lot of money at it. I was a political junkie and just like doing it. Okay? So I would show you a video about my background, but it's total BS and it doesn't really matter. But very quickly I built housing communities, large cottage communities. Well, maybe I'll show you. Let's see where I need this thing to do it. And hopefully, yeah, hopefully it doesn't have any silly thing. That's a $50 million project I worked on, high rises. This is 90 homes I built. They were about 350 quadratic meters each. That's a little thing I built as a student with no money. This is 340 housing lots, lots of apartments, flats. about a $5 million shopping complex plaza with other flats, about 30 buildings. This is like a $20 million plus elderly retirement project I consulted. I sold millions and millions of dollars worth of recreational properties in Florida, and I played around with projects here in Ukraine that are absolutely freaking crazy, just to be honest with you. Almost every project I looked at in Ukraine, pretty pictures, made no sense business-wise. And we'll discuss that a little bit today, why, etc. All right, let me close this. And first thing I'm going to do, there's a reason for this. Who knows how to make borscht? We get everybody talking. Anybody? Borscht. How do you make borscht? What do you need? Water. Good. All right. What's the next thing you need?
Meat.
Meat. Yeah. Potatoes, I guess. Salt. Onion. Beets, right?
Carrots,
vegetables.
different cabbage and so on, and greenery and paper and
I bet
special.
she
So
makes good she knows how to make one. All right, good job. All right, basically, what I'm going to show you here is that there's a process to doing anything, whether it's forecasting economic formulas, looking at transnational companies, or local stuff. And what I want to do is show you the local stuff. And we will start off by what I'm going to show you, just looking at keys. Okay, you have the north, south, east, and west, right? In the north, you have Obolon region. Across the river, you have Kryechnia. You have Podil, more or less in the center. Down south, you have the
great regionals.
yeah, Obolon up north. South, you have the National Exhibition Center, Republic that's being built on the far end, and in the west you have your university and that territory, right? So anyway, it doesn't matter where it's at. Okay, the process is basically the same. And you look at each little government unit, like Obolon, Kryechnia, Podil, whatever, and then you start applying economic theories, business stuff that goes along with it. Now, for the last several years, I heard decentralization, decentralization, decentralization. What the hell does that mean? Does anybody here know? You guys are economists. Why would, if I'm running a war in the East, why would I care about decentralization? What's it even mean to me? As economists, you guys can't even define it in reality, right? So, without someone defining what decentralization means and how the local people in those areas can control their own budgets and develop and rebuild their communities and get those people that are fighting and stuff involved in the process to where they're making money, they become business people, Corps of Engineers people that are running excavation groups, building groups and stuff like that. Things are not going to change. And someone defining, no, I'm not even going to talk about corruption, theft, and all that. But anyway, it doesn't matter if it's Donbass or the Hunts, the Nets, cities, or Kyiv, or Crimea, Yevpatoria, Yalta, whatever. It's the same basic concept. Okay, same basic philosophy. And I'm going to have to pull an example up in a little while. But Better do that now. I thought I got everything prepared, but I didn't. I apologize. Cities or Kyiv or Crimea, Yevpatoria, Yalta, whatever. It's the same basic concept. Okay? Same basic concept. And I'm not going to spend very much time on this at all. Just familiarize it. Just like Boris, you have a list of steps of what to do in every region. Okay? So if you're developing Trieste, you may cut Trieste into 3 or 4 pieces. East Trieste, north, south, whatever. And take like the 300 hectares over by the power plant, put together a plan. So you get a comprehensive development committee together, and you go through each of these steps and ask questions.
Сегодняшнюю лекцию. Там очень интересная будет лекция, и перед тем, как я вообще представлять сегодняшнего спикера, и перед тем, как я сделаю несколько объявлений, давайте техническую часть проведем. По традиции, как у нас это всегда бывает, необходимо поставить сейчас в чате оценку от 1 до 10, насколько хорошо слышно, насколько хороший звук и хорошая картинка. И я еще хотел бы сразу обратить ваше внимание на то, что у нас с недавнего времени работает это значит, что старого чата привычного и связано это с тем, что
Where are they going to come? What world-class industrial park do you have that's going to attract these people? Right? What water, sewer, electrical, all these things. Why would they come? You know, it's like now, maybe you give us a bribe, we'll get you some land at the airport or near the railway or whatever. There's no real focus on planning these things. Granted, there's a few, but not enough.
И поставьте плюсик, поставьте сейчас именно плюсик, то есть я вижу, что десятки уже есть, связь отличная, пишут люди. Поставьте, пожалуйста, сейчас все плюсики, вот абсолютно все люди, которые сейчас присутствуют, поставьте плюсик, потому что нам важно, что вообще это вообще вся история у нас работает. У нас второй день, это ну, не второй день, а второй вебинар этот чат, и нормально. Так. Вижу, что да, плюсики есть. Большое вам спасибо за то, что вы откликнулись, что вы помогаете нам протестировать систему. Это все у нас потому что
Maybe it's just a place with less traffic and a variety of new and novel ways to get around. Or perhaps it's a place where you feel like you're part of a community.
Поэтому вам всем большое спасибо за плюсик. И я начну уже представлять спикера, что ваше время. Сегодня выступает замечательный спикер, зовут ее Нина. И я думаю, что многие из вас очень интересны, потому что пару месяцев назад, даже она выступала у нас, и она просто грандиозное впечатление на зрителей. Вот сейчас я хотел бы вас узнать.
Comprehensive plan is just what I showed you. It's outline.
Поставьте, если нет, поставьте номер. То есть она у нас выступала по теме хиромантии. То есть было тогда очень количество зрителей, и места на тренингах, которые мы организовывали, у нас закончились ну, буквально за день, даже за полтора. Вот. И все, кто ее помнит, сразу поставьте единичку, она тогда, конечно, сразу было у меня в прошлый раз. Те, кто не помнит, и еще один момент, я сейчас последний скажу технически. Вы ставьте, пожалуйста, помните, вы не помните. Для Нины это будет очень важно. Вот такой технической возможности очень часто выходить в эфир нет. И поэтому каждый раз, когда нам удается договориться, и каждый раз, когда получается сделать так, чтобы она выступила, а это у нас второй раз, то это очень удобно. Есть, смотрите, у нас в чате теперь автоматически
So
не
stop
отображаются
thinking about being
имена.
the slave
Это
state
связано с тем,
drone
что
of working
этот чат не
for
работает
somebody
в социальной сети, это
making
просто,
minimum
как бы
amount.
скажем
Think
так,
more
система, которая позволяет
entrepreneur-wise
просто передавать
and being able to get a few people
Поэтому,
together
если у вас вопрос какой-то
and
и вы хотите, чтобы
organize
спикер, сегодня в частности
really
именно
good
Никита, по имени вас
comprehensive
назвала,
plan
то тогда перед тем, как вы
parts
напишете комментарий, вам необходимо будет написать свое имя.
a
Я
city
сейчас
that
вам
you're
пример
interested in
покажу.
developing.
Сейчас я в
And the
комментариях
process of working for, you can make lots of
Виталий
money
Плешаков.
if you trust me.
И,
All
например,
right,
я пишу, из
this
которого я
is another video.
город Москва. И
This is
отправляю.
Cincinnati, not very
Так,
far
The
from.
world
ваш
is in
комментарий.
motion.
Если
We
вы
are
хотите,
connected across the country and around the world via business and social networks that grow ever more vast and complex. If we stop moving, changing, and growing, we are quickly left
и
behind.
сегодняшняя тема
Anticipating and understanding changing communities and proactively adapting for growth and innovation.
тема такая же емкая, как и сама хиромантия, и эту тему знают еще меньше.
They won a national award for comprehensive planning. It's a small city, territory about like, forget.
И только среди
First
этих
city in America to have a comprehensive plan approved by a city council. However, the most recent update to the plan was done over 30 years ago. In 2009, progress began on creating a new contemporary comprehensive plan.
It really sets out a vision for the 21st century. It says, here are the things we need to do over the next 1 to 3 years, 3 to 5 years, and beyond. And so we have a work program. We have a game plan.
The vision for Plan Cincinnati is thriving reurbanization, which is focused on an unapologetic drive to create and sustain a thriving, inclusive urban community, where engaged people and memorable places are paramount, where creativity and innovation thrive, and where local pride and confidence are contagious. Adopted in 2012, Plan Cincinnati was the result of extensive public participation.
As a city, we took unprecedented steps to really get community input on what the vision of the city should be, where we're trying to go as a community.
The process is involving so many engaged citizens in our community contributing to this plan is almost as exciting as what the plan itself has to say about our future.
A steering committee included nonprofits, businesses, institutions, and neighborhood groups. There were several working groups, 3 annual neighborhood summits, open houses, and media outreach. A youth outreach program drew the participation of approximately 600 children. This public process revealed that the city wants to embrace its urbanity, but also improve on 5 initiatives: compete, connect, live, sustain, and collaborate.
It centers around our assets that differentiate us as a city that has amazing assets. Density and our business districts are amazing and we're very neighborhood centered. The recommendations in the plan of Cincinnati document tell us how to leverage that to make our city even better.
After the plan was adopted, the steering committee transitioned into an implementation committee. Implementation began in earnest.
All capital budget items have been reviewed for consistency with Plan Cincinnati. We also review all ordinances and all projects with Plan Cincinnati to make sure that they are consistent.
Many projects recommended in Plan Cincinnati are already underway, including the new Land Development Code. Plan Cincinnati will be reviewed annually and updated every 5 years, a living, breathing document to help guide the future of the city. The American Planning Association is proud to present the 2014 Daniel Burnham Award for a comprehensive plan to Plan Cincinnati, a comprehensive plan for the future. Many projects recommended in Plan Cincinnati are already underway, including the new Land Development Code. Plan Cincinnati will be reviewed annually and updated every 5 years, a living, breathing document to help guide the future of the city. The American Planning Association is proud to present the 2014 Daniel Burnham Award for a
They took a
comprehensive
tool
plan
about
to
like
Plan
this.
Cincinnati, a comprehensive plan for the future.
And they organized neighborhood groups, nonprofit organizations, etc., people with the money, and they started looking at different parts of their community, and they put together great plans for the future that would create growth and development. And of course, there's budgeting involved in this, but not always. Sometimes, here's what I hear from the city all the time. Every city, we're broke, we have no money, we need investment. Okay? What they don't realize, they have billions and billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars all around them. They just don't see it. They don't have a clue how to put together any courses. Okay? So, let's say creation, for instance. In the next 10 years, you're going to have several little shopping centers there. People look for land, look for territories to develop. They're going to see great opportunities. Okay? The 500-600 hectares or 300-500 hectares near the power plant, also, that whole territory could develop. North of Avalon, or north of Grosvenor to Fall on the river, massive territory that can be developed similar to the river along Minska and Avalon. Right? The Hydro Park, if you didn't have 5 correct people that own it, the city didn't have a clue, city manager didn't have a clue, I'm inviting you. And National Exhibition Center could be a major, major project. They've got a guy that's a showman in charge of the project. What's he know about development? Seriously, works for the presidential administration, has no clue about development. I know I've talked to him. You've got guys like he built this territory over by the river because of a small comprehensive plan, okay, which I'll show. What's he know about development?
Если выше, ниже уровня глаз, значит у нас ниже среднего, в таком случае, если у нашего ребенка верхушка ушей ниже уровня глаз, нам незачем требовать с него отличные оценки. Но дело в том, что такие люди в жизни очень практичные. Обо всем этом я вам расскажу. Кроме говорят о том, о нашем стиле мышления, о том, сколько мы проживем, долго или даже жизнь будет, какая у нас будет пищеварительная нервная система, глаза, это зеркало души. Вы даже не представляете, сколько информации можно прочитать по форме глаз, по расположению глаз, по величине глаз, даже по векам, по верхним векам, по нижним векам, по размерам радужной оболочки, цвету глаз. Все это можно прочитать по глазам, по взгляду, есть же взгляд деловой, социальный, интимный взгляд. И даже себе не представляете, что увидев любимого человека, у женщин зрачки увеличиваются 4 раза. Это как бы можно проверить, насколько верная вам жена. И дальше идет нос, это способность. И по носу еще определяем по форме носа.
They begin looking at different parts of the city. And they throw a lot of useless economic stuff in there. But also, it's good economic stuff for guys like me that's a developer. We want to know that the city's growing. We want to know that there's not enough housing in the area. Okay? We need to know the stuff that you guys know. Okay? And putting it into these documents really is important for guys like me or investors. Okay? But you also need the cooperation of citizens groups, others that have wants and needs. So if you look at Kyiv and say, we need between 12 and 2 o'clock, what do you want? What do you feel you need? You know, maybe a bus station, maybe better connector roads. maybe another bridge, maybe more housing. You know, what do you need? And each time somebody needs something, business people are over here saying, how can we make money at that? Okay? And politicians are over here, how can we get bribes so you guys can make money on it? Sorry, Ukraine, right? So anyway, there really is influences on the budgeting process. Special interest is always going to be there. It's not necessarily corruption unless it's overtly corrupt. For special interest to say, okay, I want to support a group of economists and people to put together a comprehensive plan that will develop this territory, that will create jobs, new housing, new parks, new opportunities, better quality of life, so what? But to have someone come in and say, okay, I want to bribe you to get land to build 6 buildings that I'm going to bribe a banker and go bankrupt on, like at the beginning of the trade. It's crazy. Okay? No economic planning, no thought, you know, what value is it and is it going to be realistic? So you have to do this in phases, and you guys as economists can't just look at a pretty picture or plan and say, yeah, do it, oh yeah, money's there. You have to start thinking like business people and saying, well, if it's my money, if it's my $1 million, I'll give you a way of thinking. Okay. If you guys have $100, okay, and you give it to me, invest it in me, and I buy a coffee pot, okay, to make coffee and soda, okay, and a bunch of cups. And I immediately take that $100 and I pour 1,000 cups of coffee and set it on the table. Yeah? And I do this 30 minutes before the metro starts, right? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that, first of all? Okay, yes, yes, but what practical application, what's wrong with that? Me pouring coffee 30 minutes before the metro starts, we have 2,000 cups of coffee. No clients use. Good, first thing. Second, coffee get cold. All right? Nobody's going to buy it, right? That's the mentality of people putting together projects to build these big buildings. Okay? And like I say, in the beginning of Treasury, you have 6 buildings. None of them's complete. Nobody's buying anything. The value of money. Now, forget about $100. Imagine $10 million to build a building. Okay? So you have hundreds of flats, 20% interest, which is costing me $2 million a year. 3 years, how much is that? $6 million. So a building that costs $10 million is now $16 million. But it's not complete. Nobody's even going to invest or is crazy enough to buy in this building that's not complete. So you're not getting any sales. Therefore, you don't have any reduction in your discounted cash flows, which are big finance calculations. So your cost of capital is costing you $2 million a year. So 5 years, $10 million. A building that you might have made $5 million on if it was successful and you sold it before and people bought it, you might have made $5 million. In 5 years, you spent $20 million on the building, you've lost all your potential buyers, and you spent $5 million more if you were paying the bank. The bank's probably bankrupt as well, right? As well as the people that are building. That's the mentality. It's all about
Этот человек
give me money,
зарабатывать деньги. Если у вас
and I'm not going to do what I say I'm going to do. Or the numbers that I put together are not realistic, and it's never going to work. And nobody's thinking about, they only think about, oh, here's how much money we'll make. You don't look at how much is it costing you each year for the interest? How much for inflation for your construction costs? How much will it really cost you to build that? Because the contractor's going to charge you more after they get the bid. And all these factors, nobody's thinking, okay? So how to solve that problem as economists or professional public administrators dealing with city development in the future, or all of you guys. And think about it. You have hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of people putting their money in the bank, expecting to get some kind of return, okay? And all those people that put their money in the bank, your parents, get screwed over by some guy that put together some crazy plan that would have never worked to begin with. So how can you guys as economists solve this problem in the future? Okay? I'll show you in a minute. Or at least get your thinking in the right. There's two ways. One is height restrictions, 5 or 6 stories, because a couple million, you can build a building, you can sell it very quickly, because like confidence in building sales, right? This has to be in the right areas. Downtown, different concept, different philosophy, different investment schemes, etc. 2, right now, if I was going to build, say, a 25, 30-story building in Ukraine, I would want you guys to give me money, right? Would you give me money if I was a typical Ukrainian building? No, you see too many buildings that's went bankrupt. That don't work, right? So, A, you're not going to invest. You're not going to buy. B, banks are probably not going to loan money unless it's corrupt, like rob the bank and give them money, and they say you're going to be finished on the cost. So, you need a scheme 3 to 5%. That, let's say you're going to buy a flat from me for $100,000, you would give me 3, maybe 5,000 to hold that flat. Yeah. If it was built in the future, you would trust me. Give me 3,000. You get a guarantee by a bank that once this building is built, they will give you credit within a certain amount of time. Okay, if you sell 50% of this building, then you should be able to build it, etc., etc. So, this is important, but it's extremely complex, and I won't even go into it. As economists, better stick with smaller buildings, etc. All right, now, continue with this. They talk about all kinds of stuff.
Что у него вздернутый нос, значит, характер вздорный. Лоб, шишка на лбу, шишковатый лоб. Это творческая натура, но еще есть скряга, как бы скряга. А лицо вообще жулика и мота. На что как раз ответить, да, это правда. Все это правда. Все это я.
Guess what? It's not realistic. Okay? All of these items, and I went and visited. Okay? You got babushkas and dadushkas dachas all over them. Unless you're going to go down there by gun and say, get out, and bulldoze everybody's homes down. It's ridiculous. You might be able to develop Hydro Park and get those 5 family people to do something. So you got people putting together plans and pictures and stuff. They don't even think. They don't even go look at the land. Okay, this is the past maintenance project. Okay?
Ты сказал,
They didn't even look at the
Перрон,
language.
у которого,
And
кстати,
I've actually saw the plans for
была
that. Beautiful,
родинка,
but not realistic.
такая
You can't just kick
горошина.
people out
Вот
of their
отсюда он
homes.
и Перрон.
You have to look at territories that are not
Теперь так,
developed,
Аристотель,
that expand and stuff. Maybe a little bit around the coastlines and stuff, key areas for recreation and stuff, but no major influences there.
в области физиогномики.
That's why
И он сказал, что люди
the guy built down
связаны
here
а
and
животные
not on
с
the
людьми, но только боги, люди разумные существа. Популярной была физиогномика и в Римской империи, но в Древнем Китае это сплав
Alright,
науки.
then they get into transportation and stuff like
Называется
that.
не физиогномика,
The
а
transportation and discussions that I saw is in hundreds of millions of dollars.
иногда
You know, everything from a massive underground railway all the way to the airport to other crazy things. You know, and cost millions and millions of dollars a mile, whereas realistically light rail costs about $1 million a mile, probably less than that. So you know, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. You and I could take a piece of string, 100, 150 meters, go down the road and say, okay, here in Ellis State, go all the way to the airport doing that, and then get excavation groups, go in. Every so often you develop some little city thing, try to put some utilities and stuff out there. But basically less than $1 million a mile, you could build a road out to the, if you really, really need it. And would that spur growth and development in the future? Okay? Same thing with Trexia Metro. You know, just use the tramway, convert it into a light rail system, connected into the train, city train. You know, it shouldn't be a lot of money. And guess what? That territory, that land all the way down through there is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. You can do billions of dollars worth of development. I played around and put together some plans that would actually pay for it. Okay? When I think of something, I look at a puzzle. That one little project, 13 homes I did. Okay? As a student, I basically created $2 million out of thin air. That's why I was able to do multi-millionaire land development projects. Because I pulled $1 million from thin air. Okay? I took, as a student, I got the landowner to supply the land. Okay? I got an engineer to design what was built. As a student, I got a road builder to put in my water, sewer, electrical. Okay? And then I had an invoice, real estate agent, to sell these. And I made a shitload of money. As a student, I made more money than most people would make in this room in a lifetime. I don't want to be rude, but that's how you have to start thinking. You have to start thinking there's opportunities out there. There's tons of money if you put together a plan creative. Okay? If you think and you look at this as a puzzle, where's the money? You know, and if you put together a business plan, the business plan is usually the money. Okay? The same thing with the city. How can you put together a business plan for the city with just basic costs, right? That creates maybe tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars worth of new development, or billions. And you make money in the process, entrepreneurial. Okay? And you can do it. It's not hard. You just, okay, well, I need the land. I need engineers. I need maybe architects. I need designers. You get these people as partners. You don't wait for some investor to fall out of the sky with big bags of money to give you. You know, who would be involved in this process? That's how you put together deals. That's how you make money. Okay?
И еще, если у человека кончено, такой случай,
Question.
что пришла семья и
I'm
предъявил
curious,
претензии
are
жены,
students taught
что у
how
него
to make
нет
business
сыновей,
plan?
дочери. Знаете,
Some
вы,
students
друзья,
are.
Ариста физиогномика пишет,
Usually the business plans that I have seen, okay, and I've given lectures at other universities, they put together
у него влево,
basic PowerPoint presentations
так что я,
with no numbers.
ну, в общем, как там его
You
звали,
have to
мы
learn math.
нанимаем Васю.
You have to learn, you know, if it's a coffee, how much money's coming in, how much is going out, how much money will you have left? Whether it's a big building, a little building, McDonald's, or whatever, right? You have to start thinking, you know, a business plan is simple. Pull one off the internet, you can do it in 10 minutes, right? Change it around for an area, you know, get appraisal. I showed you a really complex appraisal for $150 million. Those are more complex, but understand the math. You guys are, as economists, are starting to, okay? Okay, they talk more transportation, environmental stuff, whole lot of blah, 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 no examples. You know, other than the river, what did you see in this that would really attract you to do anything? Even you guys as economists would not read this. Yeah. Seriously, what did they put together that is of real value? Lenitsa, other than the river. Lenitsa, your prime minister, did a little better job. Almost like a business plan, they put together a SWOT analysis, maybe pestle. He actually understands comprehensive planning if he was just using it in decentralization. Still a lot of blah, 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 and no real target areas for development, okay? But he did do a better job. Almost like he actually understands comprehensive planning. Any questions up to this point? Come on, questions. Let's participate. This stuff is boring. It talks about how to link comprehensive planning into city budget. Stuff that realistically, you guys as economists should be involved in. Okay? Questions, anything. Dream. You see how to make money. All right. What city are you from? Okay. I know you were thinking about this city. In your area, what do you see would be the most valuable area to develop? Comprehensive plan. Dream. See, he didn't listen. He didn't listen. Forget the investor. The comprehensive plan, the business plan is the investor. I didn't have an investor when I put together this. I simply said, there's the land, okay, I'm going to build X amount of 13 homes. I got the land, a document. I printed out a document. Okay, you will give me the land, I will build it. I printed out a document. You will do the engineering work, I will give you X amount of dollars as a result. A document for the road builder to build my road, put in my water and sewer lines, and then simple reclama in the Gazette to sell the homes, and then I gave money to the builders and everybody back. I didn't have an investor, I had a plan. The plan is the investor. Get the investor out of your mind. I've seen it for 15 years. It's not going to work. Investors are not going to fall out of the sky. Your plan, your brain is the money. You have to see it in your plan. You have to change your way of thinking. You have to get out of this old Soviet mentality that the government's going to build everything. It's business. How can I put together the numbers that make a plan work and get the people that are involved in this to make it work? Okay, now as an advisor or public administrator, or comprehensive planner, you put together things that will get people to come there and build. And then they start thinking like this. Okay? All right. Again. Okay, forget the investment. You put together a good business plan. What can you develop there? What do you see in your mind already?
И верил в Бога, когда увидел Наполеона, я верил, что увидел самого Бога. Такой был талант. Но еще взглядов. Мы много будем говорить о взглядах. Еще взглядов.
He failed the class. I went to a meeting once, guy had the land. The translator told me the economy at least 100 times. And I'm like, it's not the economy, it's your plan. What kind of plan? You know, and I'm trying to show, she's translating, but the translator, I'm trying to advise this business guy, keeps telling me the economy. I finally said, look, you say the economy, we're going to leave. It had nothing to do with it. What kind of plan, what are you going to build? You know, the guy had tons of land, millions of dollars worth of trees that all he had to do is cut and remill them and stuff. He's going to build a camp outside the city. You know, it required just using your brain to put together a plan, it had nothing to do realistically with the economy. You cut a tree down, it's worth X amount of dollars. If you mill it into building materials, it's worth more, maybe if you're building it, right? It would have been a rustic camp. All right, anybody else? Where are you from? Okay. What area? You get it. The what part of Kyiv? Southern. What do you see down there that could be? Okay, the Demiray River. Okay.
Мы превратимся в преступную группировку.
Like some small lakes which be like some kind of
Okay, basically he's talking about what I just talked about. If he could get the territory, if he could cut some maybe trees and stuff around it, how do you reuse those resources on the property to create money and investments and stuff like that? And is it realistic? Okay, maybe, maybe not. Maybe it'd be a city, government project, county project, whatever. Someone else, anybody, someone that's really thinking about making money. You know, I built one building, good for all, one restaurant, built it for $300,000, sold it for $800,000, $500,000, boom. Okay?
It is a traffic system also building Kyiv. It's new to plan, not cosmetic, but the general plan. Maybe I bring a special accountant and chief and use me being engineers so one people say. It's necessary to have the ruling how Kyiv must be friendly. Quite different system from the thing right banks to Demiray.
Exactly.
Maybe bankrupt businessman and I give all this idea and the general plan after the realization I say that's need and I don't need.
Right.
So on.
So you put together a whole lot of little general plans in an area. Anyone from another city, other than Kyiv? Where are you from? Rovering near Kyiv. What do you see out there that could be developed? If you're interested in that, or would you rather do something inside?
Большая голова.
maybe
Если очень маленькая голова,
me connected Kyiv and Demiray with metro.
Okay, Kyiv, do they have the tram now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I rode that once. My butt was sore as could be by the time I got out there.
они впервые это все заметили.
Okay, how can you speed that process up? And what can you put along the way that would pay for that?
Классификация
And there's massive amount of forest out there. So maybe in the future, you cut maybe 100 meters away from the rail, all the way out, maybe extend water, sewer, or maybe build a road along that, maybe water, sewer, or at least water, and you put some cottage communities out there, possibly. Speed up the process. To put sewer systems in rural areas for mass density is very expensive. So it's more cottage community kind of things where you have just a road, short keep, and bigger homes. All right, next thing, anything. What area? A bakery? Okay. He's thinking of one simple business, which is okay. When I was 22 or 23 years old, I took my entire city and created a downtown revitalization program. When I was basically your age. Okay? Now, what we did is I started this program. There were step-by-step Main Street programs. You can look it up. Basically, comprehensive planning. Now, imagine this little road or walkway. I took my entire city, Anyway, imagine revitalizing each little territory, your entire downtown city. By going to the city council and saying we need a revitalization plan and actually having a comprehensive plan, you encourage people to repaint their buildings, clean them up, reconstruct buildings that need to be reconstructed, new commercial, new residential above, attract new businesses, talk about bakeries, talk about sushi shops, talk about, cafes, restaurants, student cafes with Wi-Fi, etc., right? Maybe a cool place for students to be able to transport to the university or whatever. So think bigger. Think about creating a complete revitalization of a territory. Okay? And I did it with 3 cities. Okay? My little city, the neighboring city got on it, took the plan. Then another one, I went to a council meeting, they did, I had no clue what they did. Alright, next, anybody? Yes. Maybe give me the money and I'm going to screw you out, to be blunt. Okay, again, what did I do here? I took a piece of land that was just, this guy gave $500 for this piece of land when he was young. Okay, it was basically a territory like the street from out front to Pizzata Hut. Okay, 100 meters, give or take. And I thought, okay, it's perfect for a little housing community and quarter-acre lots, 1/8 hectare per lot. About 100 quadratic meters homes was the market for this area. I did the math, okay? And then a simple document, not money. If I had to pay for that land, it would have cost me about 20% of the entire project. It would have cost me about $400,000. So with one piece of paper, I created $400,000. Yeah. And then the road. To build the road, put in the water and sewer line, it only cost me $32,000. So I printed out a document, actually a handshake, and then I turned that document. I had access to $2 million worth of road if I chose to do it. I had to get major road. he said, if you ever need, backing, I'll back you up to $2 million road, no problem. Because I was honest. Honesty. A good business plan is the money. When you have the mentality that you're going to be corrupt and cheat people, nobody's going to want to give you money. Nobody's going to want to be your partner. You have to change the way you think. I can walk into almost anybody. Look, a guy once told me, he's like, if you walk into a bank, don't go in there with the intent to get money. Some people would have to go into a bank with a shotgun and have 2 co-signers to give away their home and everything to get money, right? He told me, walk in, put your feet up on their heads, and say, how much money do you need? Okay? That's how you have to think. How much money do you need? You have the money. Start thinking you have the money. It's the plan. I had the money in my mind. Okay? I had the money for the land, the document. I had the money for the engineer. It's a good friend of mine. He drew up where the homes would be. The road builder stopped. Knew him too. He knew I could build. The numbers looked good. It was either A, his equipment sat out there and get rained on and rust, or he'd go build a road and put water and sewer lines in. Okay? So there's major excavation groups all over that can build roads to put in water lines and stuff. Maybe if you look at it like a puzzle, I love this. If I build something, I'm going to get it for free. Why should I pay for something? I have a brain. My finance professor, he said, if you ever use your own money, then you haven't learned anything about life. Right? So, look at a puzzle. There you go, all these pieces. Maybe. Right. If this is land, which the city has billions of dollars worth of land and they don't even see it, it's worth something. Okay? So if you take one piece of land, you cut it into a lot of pieces, you have a lot of money. Yeah. So if I need money for an architect or engineer, say, okay, fine. I'll give you a piece of land. This is land, right? So you take this and you create it much more valuable. If I need a road builder, okay, I'll give you 1 or 2 plots of land if you build a road, or we'll become partners on it. And so when you walk, I didn't go to a piece of land. I'd have people call me all the time. They looked at 20, 30, 50 deals a year, right? And I only choose maybe one every couple of weeks because either A, greedy, crazy, whatever. And then I could get on the computer, Google Earth, blah, blah, blah. Now you can do SketchUp, pull out buildings and all that stuff and put buildings and concepts and ideas. You don't even have to be an architect or an engineer. You can basically throw some stuff on there, basic ideas, from your computer, looking at land. And so I would look at land and I wouldn't think, oh God, I need an investor to fall out of the sky and give me money. I would think, there's the money. When I looked at the land, I would say, there's the money. Okay, I just kind of, okay, what do I need to make this effective? What am I going to put here? Right? That one piece of property, $500,000. Built 2 big buildings, a restaurant, and behind it 2 duplex offices, and then 4 fourplex buildings, right? Built that one building, 300, sold it for 800, paid for all the land. One project, free land, right? Then what can you do with all the other land? Yeah? So, the land is the money. There's money all around you. You just don't see it. Forget the investor mentality. What plan can you put together that makes sense, that's not all crazy and going to lose money, what, that's simple. Even if it's like 2 or 3 little buildings, okay? Or 4 or 5, 6 little things in part of the comprehensive plan, near a park, or, you know, nice area. Or can I build something here and take money and build a park? You know? How can I get that land for free if I build a park for the city? Okay, you give me the land, I'll build this, I'll take the money, I'll build you a park. You know, how can I get it for free? Think about it. You know, you're doing the city a favor, you're developing, you know, then you're finding people that, you know, may give you some operational capital if you need it, or engineers, or road builders, or, you know, who is involved in the process of making something restructured, taking something of no value or X amount of value and making it much more value. All right, next question.
I got one more.
Very good question. Agree? Great question. Yes? Where's the money? Good.
Also, well, but still, this wasn't the plane itself making money. This was a plan. A bunch of people mentioned handshaking and exporting. After all these results, then
Then you go anywhere in the world you want to go. You be lazy and play around on the computer. You like to eat all the time. You spend $500,000 on medical bills, and you still have plenty of money left to do whatever the heck you want to do. And if I want to go to China tomorrow, I go to China. That's what you do with the money. All right. Next question. Anybody? Think about it. Be creative. What would you do if you could? How do you create an economy? See, comprehensive planning is creating real economies. It's real stuff. It's not looking at, you know, statistically speaking, the economy has declined somewhat while interest rates have increased, and so is the dollar value and stuff. So what? How can you still operate within that environment to create an economy? Okay, you know this stuff. Don't cry about it. Do something about it. How can you take advantage of it? How can you quickly turn something into value? Okay? We study economics as a base for our business, finance, real estate, and stuff like that, our second year. Maybe a little bit more of the statistical stuff. Kyiv, anybody? No? All right, time to get bored. Boring. And I'll breeze through it quickly. You guys are often think you guys think the government will do it. The government's always smarter, right? They know everything. They'll do it, or they're corrupt, or, you know, realistically, anybody can go to a territory and start developing a network and put together citizens groups, you know, go to the paper and say, look, we would really like to develop this territory. We have certain businesses that are interested, special interest groups and stuff. You know, I'm an economist. Even once you get the diploma, you can tell people anything. That's why you're doing it, right? Well, I just want the diploma. But what value is it? Okay? If you use it, well, I'm an economist, I got a degree from blah, 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 you know, and I want to develop this territory. You're a professional, okay, so act like it, right? Go in and you start organizing groups in whatever part of the town you wish, follow these little comprehensive planning guidelines, economists. And once you get that, how do you connect that with city budget? Again, Do you really need money? Or do you just need the city approval to allow you to develop that territory or try to influence growth and development over the territory? Okay? Keep that in mind. Think this in a territory. Who will come, who will build stuff, what kind of plans will they put together? Right? And again, this is something that I do in land development. I won't bore you. It's a step-by-step process. 15 pages I put together. And it may turn out to a lot more. This local development or comprehensive development plan. Local development investment programs. Create a program for investing in new growth and development. Annual investment program, AIP. Okay? And then that goes into the local budgets in whatever district. And, you know, this talks about going to that, that, to that. These things, 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, how do you want to do it? You know? Plan and a budget. It should be lighter. So you have to connect and link the plan with the budget.
Если у вас широкое рядок, значит очень творческая натура. Но если слишком короткое, широкое рядок, ну, значит, ваши родители, у меня, например, крестьянство, колхозное строительство, я не понимаю, какой у вас социальный статус. Вот об этом говорит рядок. Губы мы отдельно изучим, рот, верхнюю, нижнюю губу, стрела Амура на губе. Губы, рот ровно 60 лет. И много-много информации дают еще раз. И нос, друзья мои, по носу можно определить состояние нашего позвоночника. Если у вас красивая, хорошая спинка носа, значит у вас крепкий позвоночник. А если даже у вас приобретенная травма, боксер, скажем, вам повредили нос, значит уже у вас проблемы с позвоночником. И еще.
Saw the one from Kyiv, right? They basically included the executive summary, practical vision, strategic direction, specific objectives, policy decisions, and those kind of things. Not really. They put a whole lot of mumbo jumbo in there. They never really started looking at the sectors that could be done. Okay? And then you have to have like a process. You know, what months we'll do this, some kind of flow chart to keep you guys focused on creating an economy. And for decentralization, everybody's going to deal with that. It has to be done. This plan, this right here, should be a format of how to do decentralization in each community. Your local finance committee. So finance guys, they're basically people that deal with the budget inside the city. Okay? How much money do they have? As economists, if you work with the city or even the federal government, how much money do you have that may go to these kind of programs, right? And then maybe, if you're really smart, you say, okay, how can you create money without us investing? Or maybe we'll give you money for a road, or maybe we'll a linking road, or maybe we'll provide money for a new park, or maybe we'll add new water and sewer lines and stuff like that. So you look at this, the finance committee, what money do they have available, and then maybe in your investment program, blah, blah, blah. So you have your development council, you have the actual council, and then you have your finance committee sort of working together. There's actually a lot of other groups. Remember in that thing they were talking about how they had citizens groups, how they had children's summit, they had 600 kids show up. Well, what do kids want? You know, in creation, right? You have 30-something schools, all of them have crappy sports complexes. No tennis courts, dirt, rock, football fields. How can you sell off territories near those schools and build new recreational facilities? You should be able to build hundreds of recreational facilities in Kyiv just by selling properties not far from the schools to build new housing. The city has the money to do this. If they just say, oh, I'm going to sell off a piece of land, they create value. So why not build nice recreational facilities? The money's there. It takes guys like you guys to say the money's there and use your brain, right? Spending, ceiling per sector, you look at every sector, and then you bring this budget stuff for the proposals are consolidated by the local finance committee into local expenditures program. What will they spend on what and stuff like that. And if you're really creative, you already realize that there's X amount of dollars available for water, sewer expansion and stuff like that. There's X amount of dollars available within the road department and stuff. They have excavation equipment to build new roads and stuff. So maybe you just take what's already there, be creative to create a major economic sector territory, whether it's industrial, housing, whatever. Goes into different stuff, boring, mapping, power mapping. This is important. You have to know who's for, who's against, all these politics. You guys are masters of politics, okay? Identifying those who wield either positive or negative influence on the annual investment program, understanding the degrees of influence, etc. Give you an example. They were going to build something over here. Instead of all the citizens in the university getting together and say, hey, maybe we'll expand the university stuff. You got some corrupt guy come in and they want to build a shopping center in an area where there's no parking, etc., etc. Then they get in there and they screw it up. And then a bunch of people from citizens groups that have no clue about economic development, finance and stuff, go take over the building. That's crazy. Work it out before you ever do a plan. Know these things are going to happen, okay? Use your brain. Say, okay, we want to do this, that, and the other thing in the territory. If a lot of people are complaining about it, it may not be a good idea. Or if they are complaining, why are they complaining? Maybe they want a park. Maybe they want something that they're willing to compromise on. Work these things out before you do it. Analyze the position and interest of different stakeholders in the annual investment program. Anticipate the possible involvement and actions on the AIP. Identifying approaches dealing with specific stakeholders. Now, a little map, person, or group, pro, anti, undecided, and reasons. It's normal. People like it, they don't like it. Same thing. Person, group, will be benefited, will be effective, positive, negative, why? Some people don't like all those people that dadushkas, babushkas that have dashas on those islands. They don't want you coming in and building parks there, right? It's crazy. But these guys put together a plan like it's the greatest thing in the world without ever even looking. Okay, power maps, forward. All right, and then if you chose to, for the city or your territory, you could change these a little bit. But you go with your islands, they don't want you coming in and building parks there. Your local comprehensive plan, your council, your budget office, your treasurers, your assessors, the accountant, whatever chair you have, the industrial chair, the housing chair, the parks chair, all these guys, right? What are their interests? Your congressman, what political bullshitters are going to try to take credit for it? Will they be constructive? Will they be against it? Why? What are the politics? And then local planning development officer, planning department, your heads of your non-government associations, your pressure makers, and your administrators. All these guys have to be thought of. You know, we're not stupid. When we look at a project, guys from the West, business guys, in about 30 seconds we can tell you if it's crazy or not. And then we know that most likely all these things are going to have to be involved in some way, shape, or form, and is it even worth us fooling? Okay? Yeah, I won't go into all that stuff. So, now, I'll show you a couple more things and then project.
Это долгая жизнь, громкая слава. Это писатели, музыканты, композиторы. Такой знак, без это очень редкий. Но его можно увидеть на лицах отдельных. Если вы,
A couple more questions. Very quickly, I'll show you a little fast video and then we'll basically finish. Okay? I know I said some things y'all don't like. Okay? Said some things that someday in the future you're going to say, damn, now I understand what he's saying, I can make money at it. Yeah, it will click in. Maybe 25 years from now, but you'll figure it out. You know, I went to meetings with older executives and stuff like that. I had no clue what they were saying. And then it clicked in years later. I know I said, now I understand life. You know, guys used to tell me when I was young, your all's age, you talk about $1 million, but you don't know what $1 million is. You know? And this old guy sold knives, right? You look at him, he's got old boots on with cow dung on his boots. He's wearing overalls, and he's selling knives for $10 to $50. I sold some knives for him for $50 to a teacher, right? I'm like, what the heck does this guy know about money? Come to find out, he's one of the wealthiest guys in the county. He's old, he's got nothing better to do, he likes business, he likes trading, he's going to carry around some knives and trade. He owns tons of property, big farms, etc. But I listen to old guys like this. You know, old mayors, city council, business people. You know, I listen to them, they talk. And I was going to meetings with, you know, major political people at your all's age. I was meeting governors. I've dealt with several governors, worked on a multi-billion-dollar educational reform project, and I've worked with presidents, stuff all over the world. But I listen to old guys dealt with major economic stuff in America, Ukraine, etc. Okay? So, I think, what do you think? How do you see this? How can it be helpful as you guys being accomplished?
Если у них это рождение сына, это рождение сына, если у беременной женщины. А по хиромантии, на эту беременную женщину посмотреть,
If you go to the city, A, they're not going to trust you unless you already have some connection. Right? But if you go to the city and you have comprehensive planning tools or territory, and you say, look, I think I can create an economy that can help us create growth and development investments and stuff like that, that would benefit you, the city, I can make money. So you create your own job. And if you do it right, you'll make far more money than you could ever begin to imagine. That's how you have to think, how this stuff can be valued. Okay? Maybe 1 or 2 of you will actually do it. 20% will see the techniques and use. The other 80%, oh man, I'm glad that's over. All right, so in closing, get your thing going.
NaUKMA, вблизи виска, вот такой острый, глаз. Признак
The cities are a big deal. We pretty much all have to live in them. We should try hard to get them right. So few cities are nice. Very, very few out of many thousands are really beautiful. Embarrassingly, the more appealing ones tend to be old, which is weird because we're mostly much better at making things now. Cars, planes or phones. Why not then cities? It's crazy to settle for this and to leave something so important to chance. We need to get more scientific and identify the principles that determine how a city gets to be pretty or ugly. It's not a mystery why we like some cities so much better than others. This is a manifesto about how to make attractive cities. There are 6 fundamental things a city needs to get right. One of the things we really love in cities is order. Order means balance, symmetry and repetition. It means the same thing happening again and again, and the left side matching the right side. Order is one of the reasons so many people love Paris, but most cities are a complete mess. When it's a mess, it seems like no one's in charge, and that's worrying me. It's horrible when everything is jumbled up. A pitched roof next to a flat roof, a stark geometrical box next to a muddled car park, high-rise towers that look as if they've been placed at random like teeth in a gaping mouth. We generally have an itch to straighten things out, and when we can't, it's frustrating. The same urge is there when we like cities. Often, it's not skyscrapers we mind in the city, it's skyscrapers that have been dumped without planning, like they are increasingly in London, whereas New York or Chicago shows the ordered way that we love. However, you have to keep something else in mind. Excessive order can be just as much of a problem. Too much regularity can be soul-destroying. Too much order feels rigid and alien. It can be bleak, relentless, and harsh. So the ideal we're seeking is variety and order. This is the idea in a square in Tech in the Czech Republic, where every house is the same width and height, but within that ordered pattern, every house has been allowed freedom at the level of however. Always jump up but the pattern is strict. Each house is the same height and width. The colour range is restricted, but within this grid, each unit is completely individual. We're perfectly in the middle between chaos and boringness here, and that's what we need to do. That's what more and more cities should have, order and variety. So as a general rule, too much mess and it's off-putting, but too much simple order and it's boring. We crave is organised complexity, which you can see here, as here. Now for the second thing that makes cities beautiful. They have to have visible life. There are streets that are dead and streets that are alive, and in general we crave the live ones. This is a live street in Hong Kong. This is a live scene in Venice. In the 18th century, the painter Carroll specialised in pictures of cities everyone loved because they're full of life. There's always plenty going on. In this painting you can see a stonemason's yard. The work sheds are rough, but they're charming. It's fascinating to see what people are up to. How they load this huge rocks onto the boulders. The life of the city is on display. Those primed to life. Contrast this with the dead streets of many modern cities. Today, places where a lot of the work gets done are dull and dead. They're spaced out along each highways, and you never go there unless you happen to work there yourself, because there's nothing to see. And most office buildings are really nonsense. The people inside like the work at all sorts of flashy stuff, but we just don't know. And it's disorienting and cold. The street levels are dead. Contrast this with the streets we all love, where you can see things going on, a bakery, a cobbler's shop, a market selling carpets, a burger bar, a bookshop. These are streets we love because they're full of life. More and more in modern cities, we've hidden life away. We have lots of dead sheds and dead towers connected up by dead motorways where you can barely glimpse your fellow humans. Rather than the old alleyways where you can see people at work, look at them in the eye as they walk down the road and feel connected to us. Modern planners have become obsessed by
You put new alleyways here, new park walkways.
Today, we
Sell off pieces near that to pay for them. You guys are economists, create money out of thin air. You guys are the money. That's why I should hire you in the city. Federal government.
We think it's the pipe we hate. It's not, it's just the ugliness. So let's make sure our schools are full of life, full of people doing stuff you can see through the windows. That's what makes certain cities so attractive to walk along, that work is on show, that people are proud of what they're doing and are happy to let the world notice and appreciate the practical side of things. There's a third principle of good cities. They are combined. In the past, being able to be alone, or just with your partner or family, was at first a huge achievement. Only the largest class, the poor, lived huddled together. and it was horrible. As soon as people had money, they wanted to move out and have their own plots. Through the later decades of the 20th century, more and more people tucked themselves away in a private realm, and it's been a disaster. It's become dense, cold, boring, very, very wasteful on the environment. A compact city like Barcelona swallows a fraction of the energy of a sprawling one like Phoenix in Arizona. We built a world of endless dead dormitory suburbs connected by sterile wide motorways, all because we labour under the false impression that we want to be far away from other people. But in fact it's wonderful to have the balancing, moderating influence of living close to other people in uplifting surroundings. That's why we need tightly packed, well-ordered cities with lots of squares and public places in which we can hang out.
Squares and public
All the
places.
most beautiful compact
How many
cities
more
are
squares could you
yet
put
the art
around
of the
people?
square has gone into public decline. We keep promoting the invention of mobile phones, but no one's built a good square anywhere on this planet for decades. It's not rocket science there. Look at the Piazza Santa Maria in Trastevere in Rome. It's a public place, but intimate and enclosed enough to feel like an extension of your home. Lounging about here, having a coffee or a
Square
beer,
may be
reading
a
paper,
small
and
shopping
getting
plaza.
around other people. They're moderating, cheering
The
effects
exteriors of
restored.
shopping
It takes you
centers
away
become
from the
squares.
over-intense, couple-obsessed atmosphere of the
They look
home.
like city buildings.
There's an art to a good square. It should be neither too big nor too small. Anything over 30 meters in diameter starts to become too large, by which we mean the individual becomes overly small relative to the space around them, creating a sense of alienation and dislocation. In a good square, you should be able to see the face of a person across the square. You could if need be hail someone walking on the other side. The ideal square must offer a feeling of containment, but not claustrophobia. There's another principle of good cities to do with orientation and mystery. By definition, cities are huge, but the cities that a lot of people love also have lots of little back streets and small lanes where you can feel cozy and get a bit lost. We're drawn to the sense of mystery and enclosure that these streets offer. It's actually lovely to get a bit lost. A warren of alleyways can feel homely and intimate. At Cartagena in Colombia, the balconies nearly touch across the street. You can see your neighbours having breakfast. You know when they've gone to bed, what time the children do their homework on a Sunday evening. The fact that everyone's a little bit on display a lot of the time tends to make people nicer. They don't shout at each other quite so much. They put flowers on the table more often. We like it, but we forget that we do, and we don't quite know how to ask for it. Modern planners and developers give us maximum privacy because they suppose that's what we all want, and because they insist that cars and lorries, which like a lot more space than people, are the most important things in the world. Of course we need balance between small streets and big ones. Necessarily, cities are large. We love small streets, but they're a nightmare when you have to go any distance. So the ideal is to have big boulevards, grand, wide, straight places, and also little worries of streets. We need cities that offer us two important pleasures, the pleasures of mystery and the pleasures of orientation. Let's think about the scale. Modern cities are all about big things. Joseph Campbell once wrote, if you want to see what a society really believes in, look at what the biggest buildings on the horizon are dedicated to. The biggest, most prominent things tell us about the actual, rather than the admitted priorities of a society. We don't collectively say we worship sports shoe corporations, tech specialists, the oil industry and pharmaceuticals. Our cities, however, tell another story. They're full of enormous towers devoted to just these things. That is a bit depressing. As humans, we don't mind things being big per se. We don't mind being humbled, so long as the things we're bowing to deserve homage, like a beautiful mosque, or cathedral, or museum. We've allowed our cities to be hijacked by aggressive commercial interests, like towers that honour not God or love or humanity, but pizza corporations and hedge funds. They exist because we've made a big, dumb collective mistake. We focus on who owns land, but we don't think about who owns space, who has air rights. And in the end, who has air rights determines what you can see from the window.
I want to offer $7 million just for the air above the
any
building.
city block is 5 stories high, no more. Above that, people start to feel small, insignificant, trivial. So we say, cut down those towers and pack everything into 5 stories. Make it dense, compact, and
5 stories. If you guys as Congress realize that the big buildings are not working in Ukraine, banks are going bankrupt because of that, the corruption of developers and stuff, put high restrictions on new developments out there. They need to start doing it right. That right there alone would somewhat save your economy for quite some time. Only people that have done certain things justifying that they could build big buildings would be different.
It's hugely disappointing when you fly somewhere for hours, land, and feel you could be anywhere. The problem isn't just that we'd like a bit of variation for its own sake. Because of climate, history, and social traditions, each society really does have different meanings, different strengths and weaknesses. There are many distinct styles of happiness, many good and varied ways of conducting collective life. The sameness of cities is a problem because it reveals how far each must be from engaging with a specific character of its own place. It's like wearing the same clothes in all climates, or speaking in exactly the same way, irrespective of who you're talking to. Cities need to have strong characters connected to the use of distinctive local materials and forms. The pale sandstone of Millbrae Crescent in Glasgow's south side is a local material, a medium-grained, carboniferous blonde sandstone formed when the Scottish landmass lay near the equator. Or around Cambridge, brick from the local yellowish gold clay is a major traditional material. Or think of the way the great Australian architect Glenn Murgan found ways to put up buildings that reflected the distinctive character of Australian life. So the law should be, don't make your city from buildings that could be just anywhere. Find a style of architecture that reflects what makes your location specific. The obstacles to building beautiful cities are not economic. Collectively, we've got enough money. We've faced two main problems. Firstly, intellectual confusion about beauty, and secondly, lack of political will. The intellectual confusion is we think no one has a right to say what's beautiful and what's ugly. We get worried about who decides. We think beauty is subjective, so surely no one should say anything about it. It's a very understandable qualm, but it's horribly useful to greedy property developers. It's such a relief to these people to learn that there is no such thing as beauty. It means they can get away with murder. We may not agree to the very last point about what a beautiful city is, but we know an ugly one when we see it. No one's ever willingly taken a holiday in Frankfurt on Main or Birmingham, and there are good reasons for this, to do with an objective sense of beauty. So let's stop being dangerously relativistic about this. Yes, there is such a thing as beauty. Sydney and San Francisco and Bath and Bordeaux House, and most other places don't. The proof lies in the tourist statistics. Let's not keep saying beauty is just in the eye of the beholder. That's just a gift to the next wealthy idiot who wants to put up a horrible tower. The other obstacle is a lack of political will. We've abandoned the design of cities to the greedy rich. We've given up believing in democracy. We face and have lost the battle between the public good and commercial
economists have never thought about doing it.
Slick lobby fighting for ugly development. But we can say no. Beautiful cities have only ever been created when governments impose strict and ambitious regulations to keep the greedy private guys in check. Think of Edinburgh's amazing New Town, which only got off the ground because the government established clear rules to keep developers in check. They wrote precise legislation detailing heights of buildings, quality of finish, the width of pavements, and the character of the skyline. That's the only way you get it. They didn't leave it to the free market to do that, and you look like chaos. When governments give up on beauty, people start to hate all building. We become collectively despondent. We think we hate all building, but we can't create beautiful places. We get obsessed by restoration and opposed to anything new, which is wrong because we need places to live. Humanity hasn't put up a single beautiful city since about 1905. When Venice was built, no one regretted the lagoons that had been swallowed up. The goal of building should be to put up things that don't leave us regretting the nature that's been lost, because the architecture is every bit equal of the designs of nature. We can create more beautiful cities, but we have to confront opportunistic developers and our own intellectual confusions. Governments can only create beauty if they have enough public backing. Political will is ultimately about what all of us, the electorate, are asking for. That's why we made this film and hope to awaken you to your power as citizens to help legislate the beautiful cities in the future. These are the 6 rules. Now it's time to fight, to put them in action.
Okay, there is one. You just have to get out and look. Grub in the car. Tons of land. Hundreds. 4 or 5 story,
Его
6 story
оригинальный
buildings.
ум
Build
часто
parks,
находит
recreation
неожиданные
centers.
решения проблемы, над
Creation
которые
hundreds
многие
of hectares over there.
бились.
You know, you can build along the trail, realistic. The territory near the National Exhibition Center, hundreds of hectares there. If you had somebody that's pro-development that understood. There's territories everywhere if you look. And sometimes all you gotta do is get on Google Earth, okay, there's a cool territory. You don't want to go to historic parks and things like that, but there are territories, and there will be expansion for many years to come.
Это говорит о том, что у человека вечная материальная проблема. Это не очень.
Well, that's why you have to put in your planning. People that are just going to keep building and building without any thought of nice parks, recreation with trees and stuff like that, and plan it well. That's what they were talking about, greedy developers. They're just going to throw up buildings, they didn't care. In many ways, the 1960s Khrushchev development, it was brilliant. He built mass homes. You know, 9 to 12 story buildings, there's thousands of them. They all look alike and all look like a prison. It was the most frightening thing I ever saw when I first came in here. They're brilliant, but the balconies suck. They all look cheap. It looks like, you know, the values are half. If there was just a little bit more thought, added color, which you could still do with the new foam and stuff, and create some kind of programs where you weatherize and add color and little parks and alleyways and stuff. I could really create,
Я, наверное, сейчас вот их прочитаю, потому что
new developments or
когда
revitalize
начнем
all these
сначала,
districts.
как раз у нас остается
If
на
you
вопрос
got all the
еще
neighborhood
15 минут.
associations
И
together,
потом, конечно же,
and you did
обязательно мы
it in
расскажем
such a
про
way
тренинг.
that you
Так,
minimize
вопрос
the cost to
следующий.
people that can't
Так,
afford it,
расскажите,
maybe 30%
пожалуйста,
pay nothing,
про
you know,
город.
in each housing community.
Есть такая
And you took the territories that are around there and you sold off stuff for new business. You take that money, you know, you do public-private partnerships where maybe the city encourages development or partner on some of the property, but some of it is cut off, used to redevelop these walkways, alleyways, you know, with nice cobblestones, new park development, plant new trees and stuff like that. If you plan it right, yes, you will lose some forests, and it's going to happen anyway. But if you plan it right, you create a lot of beauty, and you still maintain certain things of course, even like
Вот, и
New
вопрос
York City,
у
Central
зрителя
Park, or
на мочке правого уха родин.
Okay, next question.
Отличный знак, моя дорогая. Помочь по родинкам на ушах. Вы знаете, как выбирали Далай-ламу? Родинка на
How can you make
родинка
$500,000 a year?
родинка на пути, на носу
Everybody
и
think.
на ушах. Это родинки счастливые знаки.
Вот. А у Елены в Германии на левой щеке родинка и у мужа тоже. Что это означает?
Вы знаете, если хотите услышать честный ответ,
Working with
я вам
developers.
скажу. Такая родинка была у Марии.
I got something
Это
here.
не совсем удачный знак, вы знаете, Марию. Но для того, чтобы увидеть, но если эта родинка в единственном числе, друзья мои. А если где-то есть на правой стороне маленькие
Developers
значит она не имеет никаких
do play an
отрицательных
important part in there is money.
Но если одна
But developers know how to create more
нигде
money.
ни крапивочек нет,
They know how
это
to attract
не возмездная родинка.
But we also know how to create money from thin air and sell stuff of higher value
маленькую татуировку.
that creates that investment capital.
Вот такая
Okay?
родинка была в
Remember I told you that an old guy wanted me to develop his property, $150 million shopping center. This
На
is
левом,
that project.
левом ухе вверху.
I'll read through it. It's 110 pages. One guy, one little project.
Есть такое
And
дело.
if you create
Может
territories,
быть, проблемы были в детстве.
really smart
И
guys like the
обязательно
guy that's
нужно
building
проверить состояние здоровья.
Ocean Plaza and stuff like that, if it's designed for key development, shopping centers and stuff, these guys have teams of economists, real estate appraisals and stuff like that that know this stuff. They will come. Maybe some of you might work with groups like that. Okay? But this is sort of the basics of what they do. They talk about, you know, the transportation, the mapping, etc., etc. Let me see.
Узкие губы – это очень
The
осторожно.
amount of land.
С этими людьми нужно найти индивидуальный подход. Но если вы
Transportation
не
counts.
имеете,
You know, they know how many cars are coming
я
through
друзей не
there.
И вот тоже вопрос еще один про уши. Значит, уши без мочек, как бы приросшие к щекам.
Есть такое дело. Такое дело бывает у маленьких ушей. Потому что маленькие уши, и, как правило, есть такая мочка природная. Но это не бесхитростные люди. Это
I'm
очень
looking for
самостоятельные.
basic values of
Так, ну вот на данный момент
land
сейчас,
sales.
если еще есть у вас какие-то вопросы, то вы можете прямо сейчас их написать. То есть мы еще будем в течение там 2-3 минут их
Harry, maybe
читать.
it's not so
Я не
important,
вижу еще.
so it's
Вот, значит, над
details.
бровями линии, как
Could
шрамы,
you please
особенно над
summarize
правой.
your presentation
Есть такое дело, есть
just
такое.
some
А
key
сколько там
points?
линий?
What it was to keep
Человек,
in
который
mind
задал
and
вопрос
to
по поводу
remember
линий над
as
бровями, пожалуйста, напишите
economists,
свои
future
линии,
economists and
напишите,
business.
сколько линий.
Okay.
Вот, теперь дальше.
In conclusion,
Да,
these are different restaurants, different businesses and stuff like that may go into key territory, right? They're comparable costs. Cost 1.9 million, building 700, land costs like $1 million. And then how much land and stuff. So you have a territory, you cut it up into pieces. You know, this may be $1 million, this, or $500,000 or less, right? So you take a territory that's just sitting there
Так, ну
doing
хорошо,
nothing.
значит, тут вот очень много
And you
благодарностей,
create
пишут снова
tens of millions,
снова
100, 150, 200 billion
об этом мы
dollars
сегодня говорили. Вот
project.
Вера, которая спрашивала про линии над бровями,
People
она
that
пишет, одна
do this,
шрама.
they will come.
Отличное
Maybe you can do it yourself. and learn.
Это
Okay?
очень хорошая линия. А если
The
было
key
бы
is-
это проблема с карьерой.
Так, ну тогда
I've talked
смотрите,
to
давайте сейчас сделаем так, вы пока не
hundreds of
общаетесь
economists over the
по
last 15 years.
И сейчас
I've talked to
я
people that
показываю,
have
я сейчас
business
учу
diplomas.
себя, и
I
я
know
расскажу
people that
вам о
got
том,
business diplomas that never even went to class. They were in Italy or Australia. They come in, they pay a bribe, they take them exam, they go do this.
для того, чтобы
Absolutely
вам о нем
worthless.
узнать более подробно, чтобы
Other
вам
than a little bit of
его
basic
почитать,
translation.
ознакомиться,
Okay.
прямо
They had a
сейчас
business
появится
diploma.
в
I
чате
talked to
слева,
economists that
в чате
done
начинается
much of the
какой-то
same.
вебинарный. С
But
левой стороны и с правой
how
стороны.
effective really are
С
you?
левой стороны она
as a
будет
economist?
красного цвета,
You got to
с
start
правой
thinking,
стороны она будет
you know,
желтого
if I take this
Если
a
вы
little
на
bit
нее
more
нажмете, то вы
serious,
попадете на страницу, где указана
There
вся
could be
информация о том тренинге,
great
который
opportunities.
я вам сейчас
If I learn a little bit of
немного
business,
я сейчас
connect,
во-первых, покажу
you know,
экран,
how can I
вы увидите
create
эти кнопки,
value
куда
from
нужно
nothing?
переходить.
How can I look at a piece of land and say the investor
Так, 2 секунды я
is
включаю
there,
свой экран,
the
и
city
вот
has
таким
it?
выглядит
I
экран
think
у
we
меня.
can create
Вот кнопка первая
growth
красная,
and development.
вторая желтая, нажимает на любую, они ведут
So,
абсолютно на
as
одну и ту же
economists, business
Значит, и
people,
вот страницы
people that study finance,
выглядят таким
real
образом.
estate,
Онлайн-тренинг,
business,
который называется «Физиогномика
they know
от
this.
чтение людей по лицу». Значит, старт
That's how you
тренинга,
guys have to start thinking.
он уже очень скоро.
If you're
Значит,
going to
14
really
июня.
change.
И он будет
Or
2 недели,
5 years
но
from now,
он включает в себя
10 years
7
from now,
занятий.
you
То
guys
есть
will say,
занятия будут не
same
ежедневно,
stuff. You know, I heard the same stuff after the revolution there in 2003, corruption, this,
самое главное,
that, the other
сейчас
thing, not much different than this.
тренинг будет проходить естественно.
Soon,
в прямом эфире,
people are already
точно
getting
так же,
tired of
как
that,
и
they'll go
у
this.
тренинга будет
You know,
ведущая,
it's
она
the
будет помогать,
mentality
всегда
that
будут
needs to
вопросы,
change.
если что,
So the
читать.
whole idea of me being here today is
Дальше
basically
начало
change
всех
your
занятий
attitude.
будет 20:00 по
I'm here to
московскому
change
времени.
your attitude
Запись
of how you
всех
see
занятий,
things.
которые будут именно
Money's
на
all
тренинге.
around us.
будет предоставлена каждому участнику в зависимости от его билета, от его пакета участия. Полный тренинг включает в себя 7 занятий, 7 конкретных занятий в течение 2 недель, 15 дней. Укороченная версия, базовая версия, включает в себя 5 занятий, и ведущая абсолютно всех занятий, соответственно, будет не напала на пункты. Вот здесь существует план тренинга, то есть вы прям можете конкретно прочитать первый день, второй день, третий день, четвертый день, пятый день, шестой день, седьмой день. Здесь
we know that Harvey is a very open person and he shares eagerly his knowledge with anybody who needs it. So if you have any questions, Harvey is available at the ETRC. If you want to continue some kind of a discussion or you have any questions regarding and also, as I understand, I've heard that we create, you are very valuable to your country, to your family, to yourself. So just don't stop and keep learning something new. Keep communicating with the right people, your colleagues, with people who know more knowledge, who has no more knowledge, with experts, just to have more expertise in certain field. So,
believe in yourself, because your friends, your family will usually say you can't do it. They will say what he says, and everybody else. It's not just I need an investor. No, you don't. You need a brand. Okay? Put together a plan, believe in yourself. When I went to my friend, I had his son. I was out driving my truck, and I drove him through this land. The grass was like this tall. I said, I'm going to build a subdivision here. Oh, cool, cool. I'm going to put the water lines here, and I'll be able to look over to this, blah, blah, blah. Went back. His dad thought I was BS. He didn't believe it. He's like, man, you're a student. You're broke. You don't have $2 million. I'm like, you don't need it. It's the plan. Almost everybody have told me that I couldn't do that. Best $2 million ever spent. You know, no big deal. It's creative. If you're smart, you start looking at documents. What document will give you that money? How can we create that? And just believe in yourself, believe in your plan, but really start learning the value of money. You guys as economists, you're dealing with numbers, forecasting, but you're really dealing with money. Okay? Most of you do not know the GDP of any country in Europe. Most of you don't know the GDP of Ukraine. $170 billion, 1% of the American economy. Crimea, 3.7% of that 170 billion. 2.2% of the 3.7 is tourism. You don't know your own country. You know, how can that be effective? How can you affect policy with that? You have to know not only the statistical information, but you have to know how that affects math. You got to know math. How much coming in, how much is going out to create money. All right, that's it.
Thank you, Harvey. Guys, you are welcome to participate in any other our events. Just remember that every Thursday we have movie clubs at 3 p.m. with the discussion afterwards. On Tuesdays we have discussion clubs with the Ruth and Carroll. Follow our announcements and enjoy yourself.
Что
Вот. И здесь вы, для тех, кто не знает, я сейчас
А у вас, чекайте, у вас я подивлюсь зараз.
в эфир и именно ответить. Так, давайте я еще пару вопросов задам на связи. Да, я тогда переключаю на микрофон, и пока у нас сейчас будет вопросы, вы можете прямо сейчас делать заказ. Невысокий процент гитар. Значит, я тогда сюда включаю и переходим снова. Так, вопрос следующий. Значит, так, на левом ухе секунду, да, все нормально. Вот вам пишут благодарность. И, значит, вопрос следующий. Если человек делает пластическую операцию, он меняет свой
Второе место занимает практика. Ну и дальше. Бывает так, например, на примере Майкла Джексона. Он сам много сделал пластических операций, пока уничтожил на своем лице все пластическими операциями. И смотря как
Да, теперь вопрос организационный. Значит, если сейчас нет достаточно денег, можно ли оплатить позже? Я отвечаю вам главное сегодня сделать заказ. То есть нажмите на пакет, сделайте заказ, оплатить можно в течение нескольких дней. Спокойно, никаких нет проблем. Я еще в конце все равно покажу. Значит, дальше. Родинка над губой слева, с края. И родинка слева внизу, вот
знаете, родинка слева. Вот ой, это родинка дипломата. Скорее всего, это очень токсичный человек, никого не делает. А родинка над верхней губой тоже счастливая родинка. В личной жизни. Это тоже счастливая родинка.
Да, вот Марина интересуется, что бы можно было зачитать. Предпочтительно литературу.
Литература есть, у меня такая литература, я могу порекомендовать. Вот я, например, читаю Мэг Рупертери. Вот такую книжку, она у меня уже старенькая, но это очень хорошая литература. Я очень люблю его мимика, психология мимики, Альфред Хиракимов. Очень интересная. И я безумно люблю вот эту книжку. Джейн Халлер, гениальная математичка, китайское искусство, видео. Вот это я безумно люблю вот эту. Это очень хорошая книга. Ну и есть общеобразовательная книжка. Чтение молитва Александра Стрельцова. И очень интересная книжка, я ее тоже очень люблю. Составитель Светлана Кузина «На грани хаоса». Технология информации о знаменитостях, о политиках, Медике, Алла Борисовна Пугачева, Владимир Владимирович Путин. Ну, абсолютно все знаменитые политики, все знаменитые депутаты.
Like my CD, if I put together a CD, it would be 20, 30 pages.
Абсолютно интересная.
организованные
I just want to know that I've got 30 years of
очень
experience in land development.
Есть еще вот такая книжка «Ваше тело никогда не врет». Я забыла, сказала, что физиогномика – это часть восточной медицины. Вот восточная диагностика, полное руководство по восточной диагностике. Какие признаки появляются намного раньше, чем появляется само заболевание. Потом я люблю вот эту книжку «Шаларь». Вот посмотрите, физиогномика. Но у него по физиогномике есть больше, намного книг. Очень вот эту книжку. Потом, если вам еще надо, китайское искусство чтения, поле, китайское искусство чтения. Это тоже очень хорошо. Ну и опять вот этот супер. Ну если еще заинтересует вас, я запишу. Мне много очень.
Да, все люди, которые придут на тренинг, они получат полный список всей литературы. Но как вы видите, литературы действительно очень много, и, конечно же, на тренинге вы получите прям конкретную выжимку, чтобы ваше время сэкономить. Вот, и так, до какой даты действительно скидки, которые сейчас действительно только в том случае, если вы в течение сегодняшнего дня и в течение того дня, в который вы впервые посмотрите запись, потому что завтра вы будете смотреть запись, помните, что для вас тоже скидки эти будут действительны, как только вы сделаете заказ, то есть в этот же день. А потом вы сможете оплатить по этим скидкам, ну, в принципе, по возможности. То есть, ну, естественно, конечно, до начала тренинга нужно это успеть сделать. Вот. Также вы можете с менеджером пообщаться по телефону, он вам может предложить какую-то срочку, все. Ну, то есть это в зависимости от ситуации индивидуально. Вот. А официально вообще цена будет подниматься, то есть если вы сейчас не сделаете заказ и просто отложите это на потом, то цена после 11 июня уже будет без скидки. И уже нельзя будет вернуть. Так, теперь еще один организационный вопрос здесь был. Так, секунду. Вопрос организационный. Не могу уже я его найти. Ладно, в общем, значит, в течение 3 дней оплатить вы можете, я уже сказал. Так, вот, можно ли будет купить запись всех 7 занятий? Смотрите, купить запись вам нет необходимости, потому что даже если у вас не получается присутствовать, вам нужно будет просто сейчас сделать заказ, оплатить как бы участие в тренинге, и вам записи автоматически будут приходить сразу же после того, как будет завершаться прямой эфир. А в конце, то есть через 15 дней после старта тренинга, 1 июля, вам придет полный пакет записей, то есть страница красиво, как по хиромантии было всем пришло, также придет по физиогномике, одна большая страница с паролем, вам она придет. То есть отдельно записи продаваться не будут. Значит, поэтому вам, чтобы получить эти записи, вам нужно оплатить онлайн-участие, ну а по факту просто смотреть запись. Для вас разницы не будет ничего. Теперь вопрос еще по теме. Значит, Татьяна спрашивает, значит, очень глубокая линия, параллельная нижней губе, и которая находится между нижней губой и линией подбородка.
Есть такая линия, это называется линия желанности. Это говорит, что этому человеку, как бы, родители частенько напоминали, что с тебя немножко упускали, это упреки родителей. Линия желанности называется. Есть такая линия.
Так, теперь еще вопрос. По правой брови, в самом низу, над самым краем подвижного века, но не на нем. Из внешнего уголка глаза. И граммульки правее 2 руки.
Отличная родина. Признак это под правым глазом.
Да, написано, что смотрите, под правой бровью. Да, следующий вопрос. 2 вертикальные морщины между бровями. Хочу убрать участок. Можно ли?
Можно это делать, но это знак успеха. Я показывала такие линии Владимира Высоцкого. Это знак хорошей организации. Это знак успеха. Это очень хорошие линии. Вот на ваше усмотрение, с медицинской точки зрения, это говорят
fancy year of doing what you do. You know, and if you got the document, all you got to do is walk in to
Вопрос,
the
касающийся зуб.
we have hundreds
Если
of
зубы
U.S. Ukrainian business cards, the German,
то сможет
it's right here on down there.
может ли измениться судьба в этом?
They,
Может в этом
many
случае.
of them
Это
have
коррекционное
money
будет уже
for those kind of
физиономика.
sponsorships.
Но кривые
You
зубы
just have to
бывают
be a
у
broker
людей,
that's
которые
like
видят
business,
любую
like I
проблему
sell houses.
со всех
You
сторон.
have to sell
Если
sports
но выпрямить, это лучший выход из
and
этой
learn
ситуации.
those
И
documents, find out
уравниться и
what those documents do.
корректируйте свою.
You know, talk to notaries about it.
Это
Так,
хорошая идея.
And
у нас
then make
родинка
some
над
contacts.
губой слева с краю.
And if you
Нет,
sell
этот вопрос уже был. Я
a
прошу
few
прощения.
sports
Не просто этот вопрос уже
when
был.
you're
Вот.
professional, that's what you really want to do, then you can make money to do that. Okay, imagine if I sold
Значит,
a house,
тогда
my first
смотрите,
trip to
все,
Ukraine,
ну,
I
сейчас
sold
по
a house.
родинкам уже
I
все-таки
made about
несколько других ответили.
$7,000.
Остальная информация уже прям подробнейшая, конечно, будет на третьей. Давайте тогда вот последний вопрос тоже, который касается, ну, не совсем родинки, но близко к этому. Значит, из левой брови выходит пятно на 1 сантиметр. Вот, и левой брови образуется то же самое. Я, если честно, не понял. Еще раз, из левой брови выходит пятно на 1 сантиметр.
Вы знаете, это немножко проблемы в личности. Потому что мы говорили, что левая сторона лица – это личная сторона.
А
вот Татьяна интересуется бровью очень густые, но левая бровь чуть-чуть развернута.
Ну, левая брови густые, вообще-то это хорошо. Это значит характер, хорошее здоровье. И если волосы ровненько в одно и то же направление, это очень хорошо. У нас будет тема, прямо брови. Ну, а если разорванная, рваная бровь,
Но она была, это было...
It's a good way to travel if they're going to pay.
ага, это было в детстве развлечений, опять-таки проблемы в личной жизни.
Так, ну, на данный момент
And I'll help you with your lab.
поэтому,
But
если, ну, наверное,
put
тогда
together
будем заканчивать.
in exchange for doing that, you put together a sports business
Буквально два
plan.
предложения
You
сказать,
find a few basic documents that
попрощаться
these
со
people
зрителями,
need.
вот, и потом я
And
снова
at least
вернусь.
in the next month, 2 months, go talk to some of these corporate funds. Go talk to a few football people. Find out who they are. And think about all you need is one decent sports guy to represent. And go watch Jerry Maguire. With Tom Cruise. He's a sports no. Yeah. And he represents one football. It's a motivating thing to think about.
Это вам пойдет на пользу. Да и самому вы увидите первые признаки, которые появятся у вас отрицательные, положительные, товары. Вы увидите, а женщина, которая, ну, старости нет, маленький подбородок, я хочу еще добавить, острый маленький подбородок, это еще знак хитрости, моя дорогая.
So,
А тем более
you get to
более
know
об
people
этом.
here.
Вы, конечно, себя
How can you trade them to come there? You got great footballers in Ukraine. They need to team. Maybe they can sell and play in the holidays. Get a free trip. Plus, you get to be in places where maybe you can sell people or sponsor.
Итак, мы благодарим Нину за то, что она вот, сегодня провела такой замечательный вебинар, поэтому давайте еще раз вернемся к заказам, и я параллельно еще отвечу на вопрос, можно ли совместить тренинг по хиромантии и тренинг по физиогномике. Давайте сейчас я покажу, как сделать заказ, чтобы уже вопросов не возникало. Например, ну, выбираем там, билеты, давайте там, где пишем, все включилось уже туда, и расшифровки, искать консультация. Вот, я сразу предлагаю так.
If you go there, you got to go to the coastline, bowling. It's much better. All right, do you got a question? Yeah, email it to me. Email that.
Сейчас, пока я включу себя.
And I'm teaching the English, and I teach different classes. Today it was just students in wisdom, and they learn they just keep to one
Вот я включаю себя, и мы снова возвращаемся к экрану. У нас такой большой маленький вот цепочек. Значит, смотрите, вы отправляете заказ, и получается, что попадая, нажимаете кнопку, оформляете заказ, сюда пишите свой номер телефона, имя и свой электронный адрес. Нажимаете кнопку «Заказать». Дальше, любым удобным способом, картой, электронными деньгами, если вы за границей, то это PayPal, можно идти в Сбербанк, и в России. То есть любыми удобными способами можно оплатить. И вот здесь есть счетчик. То есть, значит, действует в течение 2 суток. Но этот счетчик, опять же, если вам позвонит менеджер, и вы заблаговременно, пока это время еще не закончилось, оповестите его о том, что я хочу оплатить такого-то часа. Все, он вам этот счетчик поменяет, и он будет показывать другую. Вот, теперь по поводу вопроса, который связан, можно ли совместить тренинг по хиромантии, по физиологии. Можно совместить. То же самое, делаете заказ, именно тренинга по физиогномике, и обязательно туда вводите свой номер телефона, правильный. Вам на следующий день, завтра, позвонит менеджер, мы ему передадим сейчас, что человек один, который просил. Менеджер вам вышлет персональную ссылку, тоже со скидкой, так как вы будете и тот тренинг покупать, получается. Он вам вышлет персональную ссылку, то, скорее всего, это скидка. Вы получите запись встречи по хиромантии, которая сразу же вам что она уже есть. И 15 числа, 14 числа получите доступ на онлайн-версию тренинга именно по физиогномике. Так, сейчас я возвращаюсь еще раз в чат. Спасибо большое. Вот мнение благодарности. Так, вроде бы больше организационных вопросов нет, поэтому вам огромное спасибо за то, что вы летний, конечно, это сказать сложно, хотя на юге он действительно летний, но в Москве у нас снег идет периодически, даже сейчас. Вот, поэтому мы ожидаем, что уже в следующей неделе будет лето, наконец-то летний, действительно, у нас вечера. Вот. И я вас благодарю за то, что вы нашли время и пришли. Я всем рекомендую именно тренинг Нины Павловны Никиты прийти, потому что это спикер, который очень редко выступает. И мы сразу, как только она возвращается, находит возможности время, мы сразу стараемся все силы бросить на организацию такого мероприятия, потому что действительно это того стоит, и мы здесь даем персональную гарантию. Не спикер дает гарантию, а тут уже мы сами. То есть даем гарантию, что если вам понравится, мы вернем стоимость вашего билета.
He's smarter than me, at least he's going to do something cool, you know, work at a museum, I had to work all day long in Colorado and put my life up for this, but when you're young you do this kind of
в прошлый раз у нас тоже была такая гарантия именно от нас, то есть нет спикера от нас, ни разу не было. Кто-то попросил возврат, у других спикеров бывали. Но вот есть несколько спикеров, не буду остальные имена сейчас называть, но Нина Никита туда входит. У нее ни разу не было никого, что так, менеджер Точков Олег Игоревич. Да, он тоже является менеджером, он может вам позвонить. Он один из менеджеров. Если он позвонит вам, ну, тогда значит он звонит от нас. То есть просто там он не один работает, несколько человек. Так, ну вроде бы все. Значит, тогда вам еще раз большое спасибо за то, что пришли. Помните про гарантию, помните про то, что тренинг крутой, классный. И мы тоже вместе с вами придем. То есть мы организаторы тоже ходим на тренинге Михаила Швец. И вот с недавних времен, на тренинге Станислава Матвеева. И с недавних пор мы ходим на тренинг. Потому что реально очень изложение и подача материала. Даже бесплатные вебинары, куда свободный доступ сегодня. Ну, вроде бы все очень интересно. А платные тренинги там очень концентрированная и расширенная такая информация полезная и систематизированная. И что нравится нам, участвовать, что Нина Павловна показывает не на экране презентацию, а у нее прям листочки, и она в листочках показывает очень удобно. Как это по хиромантии было то же самое. И точно так же это будет листочки, она их показывает, там рисунки, и очень все читаемо. Итак, вам большое спасибо еще раз. Я думаю, что в следующий раз мы с вами встретимся после небольшого перерыва, вот, потому что, скажем так, тренинг физиогномика от АДЯ — это такая кульминация сезона. И после этого, скорее всего, у нас будет перерыв. И дальше следите за рассылками. Что-то новенькое мы обязательно для вас придумаем. А с остальными мы встречаемся уже 14 июня на тренинге Никиты «Физиогномика от А до Я». Всего хорошего. До свидания.
I'm not very good at it. I used to play a little tennis, golf, run track, but I never really got into professional sports. I like Kentucky basketball. No, Facebook I don't. Only old friends that know that can put up with my political posting. Yeah, but I don't know when I get around to looking at it. But I'll cut it down to one page and then send it. And then send it. And put pictures on there. Put pictures of you doing interesting things at museums and stuff, you know, where they're saying, oh, he's interested in that. Okay, I'm going with that. All right, tell me about Paul. Sorry, Josh.
Have a nice day. Thank you very much, Harvey.
Okay, was that too hard on him?
No. In fact, they did have questions like, after you finished, my students, oh, we wanted to ask a question. Where were you?
Yeah, they're very shy. They don't know what to ask. That's why I tried to cover tons of stuff as quickly as possible to get them thinking. And I tried to throw the money signs out there that might inspire them, because ultimately they'll start thinking about money someday. And
have a nice day. Thank you very much, Harvey.
What do you think, Diane?
In fact, they did have questions like, after you finished, my students, oh, we wanted to ask a question. Where were you?
Yeah, they're very shy. They don't know what to ask. That's why I try to cover tons of stuff.
And the main thing that they should think that their brains.
That's what I was trying to do, and Natalia's a master at that. So, yeah. I wish I'd done a little bit more of it. All right, so see you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, see you. Have a healthy lunch.
Are we going to lunch?
Have a salad or something.
You want to go to Salad Fair? Salad Fair? You want to be there? Oh, then you're going to love it. All right, I'm going to take her to Salad Fair.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to do, and Natalia's a master at that. So, yeah. I wish I'd done a little bit more of it.
Да, теория. Have a healthy lunch. Have a salad or something.
Просто трошечки воно не в'їхало. Просто я думаю, що буде децентралізація. Ну, з точки зору політичної, адміністративної, ну як насправді закони про децентралізацію. Таке от political sciences. І вони були на це налаштовані. Вони просто трошечки не чекали, що це буде інше таке.
Так, теорія.
А тому так приходить мені Наталія, ну, тут колеги там дві групи бачили, були у вас, значить, сказали, що це четвертий інструктор. Я хто дивився, я всіх поінформувала. Дякую.
Я вивчаю, якби початково. Ось тут я не можу зрозуміти, тут написано мене цікавить питання, чому тут А і не С.
Ну, тому що казани, вони
Множині. Коли з множинів користується А.
так.
Тобто тут в цій ситуації І.
А, ти закінчив?
Можна модерувати.
А в англійській мові легше. Там дієслово і теперішній час, наприклад, present simple. Там тільки закінчення S для he, she, it. Це пережитки минулого, це синтетична складова мова. Дієслово to be, воно ділиться на am, is, are. I am, he, she, it, is.
Я знаю, так, бачу.
Мова так, воно так і застосовується в цьому різниці.
Ну, тут ви сказали, в множині різниця.
Звичайно.
Але мова, це, як ви сказали,
ну, і тут ви повинні покладатися на здоровий глузд, тому що є деякі речі універсальні, наприклад, казани, ролики, так? Вони в українській множині і в англійській множині, тому що взагалі це парні речі, так? Нам потрібна пара казанів, це симпатично. Але є винятки, наприклад, новини для нас множина, для англійців однаково, що закінчується на X, news. Ми кажемо дати поради, чи цікаві поради, так, advice. У них це однина. Тобто, ну, є винятки, це якщо загальний.
ну, це щось таке таке сьогодні. Які слова схожі? Ну просто виходячи з цієї таблиці, я не зрозумів, чому тут пара.
Тому що це слово замінюється на «they». Ми бачимо «they». Правильно? «They».
А цей «are»,
Да, «they».
тут тоді «із», тут тоді «із», так? Тобто ось тут.
It is, так. Бачите, ось тут. У нас можна чому?